Welcome back to the Deep Dive. Now, for those of you working through the 30 Days to Sell Cars program, how to amplify your marketing using content multiplication. It's a strategy that can really give your 30 Days to Sell Cars program a boost.
Exactly. Content multiplication is all about working smarter, not harder. It's about understanding that you've already got a gold mine of content you created for the 30 Days to Sell Cars program, just waiting to be used.
Okay, so instead of just throwing more content at people, how does this actually help us sell more cars? Especially thinking about the 30 Days to Sell Cars program, where the focus is on dominating the conversation in our market.
Well, think about it. Each day of the 30 Days to Sell Cars program focuses on something different about engaging with car shoppers, right? Content multiplication lets you take those daily themes and amplify their reach by turning them into multiple formats for different platforms.
So, like, instead of just a blog post about the importance of a test drive, we could turn that into a video, or some cool social media posts, or maybe even an infographic.
Exactly. You're hitting multiple touch points and making sure people see it across all the different platforms where your potential customers are. And that consistency is key, especially in a program like 30 Days to Sell Cars, where you're building momentum each day.
This is making sense now. It's like that idea of top-of-mind awareness. The more a potential customer sees our message, the more likely they are to think of us when they're ready to buy.
Exactly. And by making the format fit each platform, you're making sure that message really resonates with the audience there. A long blog post might be good for your website, but on TikTok, you want something short and snappy to get their attention.
Okay, that makes sense, but let's get practical. Where do we even start with this content multiplication thing? Do we just pick any old piece of content and start changing it?
Not quite. The first step is to look at what content is already doing well, the stuff that's already resonating with your audience.
Okay, but how do we do that? Is it just about what we think worked well, or is there a more data-driven approach?
Data is key here. Look at the numbers. Forget gut feelings. You should be tracking website traffic, social media engagement, appointment bookings, all those metrics that tell you what's really connecting with people who might buy a car.
So if we had a blog post that got shared a ton on Facebook, or a video that led to a bunch of people scheduling test drives, those would be the ones to repurpose.
Absolutely. Those are your winners. For example, let's say you have a great blog post about how your dealership goes above and beyond for customer service. That's a perfect fit for the Building Trust theme in week 1 of the 30 Days to Sell Cars program. Don't let it just sit on your website.
Okay, I'm seeing the potential here, but let's say we have that blog post about customer service. What are some actual ways we could repurpose it to get the most out of it? Especially considering the different platforms and how people consume content on each.
You could take key points from that blog post and turn them into Instagram stories with customer testimonials. Or you could create a short animated video using something like Canva, showing off those awesome customer service moments. That kind of content would be perfect for the 30 Days to Sell Cars program because it builds trust and shows what makes your dealership stand out.
I love that. We're taking something that already worked and making it fresh and engaging for each platform. I have to admit, I'm a little intimidated by creating all these different formats. It sounds like a lot of work, especially for busy dealership teams who are already juggling a million things.
No worries. There's a ton of tools out there to make this super easy.
Okay, tell me more about these tools, because I think a lot of dealerships are in the same boat. They see the value in this, but they're worried about the time and effort involved. What are some tools that can help us streamline this process?
Let's start with video editing because video is huge these days. If you're not a video editing pro, Canva is really user-friendly and has tons of templates specifically for social media.
Canva is great. I've used it for creating simple graphics and social media posts. But what if we want to make something that looks more polished and professional?
For more advanced video editing, you could use Adobe Premiere Pro. It's a bit more complex, but gives you more control and flexibility. Or if you're looking for something quick and easy on your phone, InShot is a great app for editing videos on the go.
Those sound great for video, but what about other types of content? Let's say we want to take that customer service blog post and turn it into social media posts. Is there a tool that can help us do that?
Absolutely. That's where AI content generators come in. Tools like ChatGPT can rewrite that blog post into catchy captions for Facebook, Instagram, even LinkedIn. It can even suggest hashtags to help you reach a wider audience.
So we're talking about taking one piece of content and turning it into a multi-platform marketing machine.
Exactly. And with the right tools, it doesn't have to be a ton of work. You're working smarter, not harder.
This is exciting. But how does this tie back to the 30 Days to Sell Cars program? We're talking to dealerships using that program to really increase their sales.
Content multiplication is like rocket fuel for the 30 Days to Sell Cars program. It lets you amplify the impact of those daily themes.
So instead of just checking a box each day, we're really getting the most out of those activities.
Exactly. Think of it as a force multiplier. You're creating more meaningful interactions with potential buyers throughout the entire 30 days.
I'm seeing the bigger picture now. But let's get even more specific. How would we use content multiplication for the showcasing inventory theme in week 2 of the 30 Days to Sell Cars program? That's a big one for dealerships.
That's a great example. Let's say you have a video walkthrough of a new model you're featuring that week. Instead of just posting it on your website, you could use Canva to create short, attention-grabbing snippets for TikTok and Instagram Reels.
I like that. Those platforms are all about visuals. We could even use captions to highlight key features and benefits like fuel efficiency or safety ratings.
Exactly. And you could even use ChatGPT to generate different captions for each platform, tailoring the language to resonate with that audience. And don't forget about relevant hashtags to reach even more people.
This is making me rethink how we approach the 30 Days to Sell Cars program. It's not just about what we do each day, it's about how we repurpose it to maximize its impact.
That's the spirit. It's about working smarter, not harder, and turning every piece of content into something that drives sales.
This is all really insightful, but before we move on, I want to make sure our listeners have some takeaways. What's one thing they can do today to start incorporating content multiplication into their 30 Days to Sell Cars program?
Look at your calendar for the 30 Days to Sell Cars program. Pick one theme for the coming week and come up with 3 different ways to repurpose the content you make for that theme. Think outside the box.
That's a great challenge. Don't be afraid to get creative and experiment with different formats and platforms. You might be surprised at what works best for your dealership.
And speaking of different formats, I'm curious to hear more about those graphic design platforms you mentioned. You said Canva and Visme can be helpful for content multiplication, right? Absolutely. They're not just for making things look pretty. They can turn data-heavy content into eye-catching visuals that will make people stop scrolling.
Okay, give me some specific examples of how we could use these tools to repurpose content for the 30 Days to Sell Cars program.
Let's say you've got data on why customers choose your dealership over the competition. Maybe it's your customer service, your selection of vehicles, or your financing options. Instead of just listing those in an email or blog post, why not make it an infographic using Canva or Visme?
I can picture it something like 5 reasons why dealership name is the best place to buy your next car, presented in a way that people will actually want to look at.
Exactly. You could even make separate infographics for each stage of the 30 Days to Sell Cars program. For example, during the building trust phase, you could highlight customer testimonials and your commitment to the community. Then, during the showcasing inventory phase, you could show off the key features and benefits of your most popular models, and so on.
This is making me realize that content multiplication isn't just about making more content, it's about making smarter content.
That's it. It's about making every piece of content work harder for you and using the different formats and platforms to create a really immersive experience for potential buyers.
This is all so inspiring, and I know our listeners want to hear even more about how to put these ideas into action.
I'm happy to dive deeper into some specific strategies and examples. There's a lot we can explore.
Awesome. Let's take a quick break, and when we come back, we'll get into even more ways to use content multiplication with your 30 Days to Sell Cars program. Stay tuned.
So we were just talking about Canva or Visme for infographics. While those same tools can be really powerful for repurposing content about specific vehicles in your inventory.
Now we're talking getting down to the actual cars we're trying to sell.
Yeah.
What are some ideas?
Imagine this. You've got a hot new SUV on the lot and you already have a video showing off its features. Instead of just putting that video on your website, you could use Canva or Visme to pull out some stills and turn them into a really cool carousel post for Facebook or Instagram.
Ooh, I like that. Each image could focus on something different about the SUV, the interior, the exterior, all the tech features, like a mini tour of the car right there on their social media.
Exactly. And you can use the captions to highlight those features, even tying them back to the daily themes in the 30 Days to Sell Cars program. Like, this SUV has all the latest safety tech so you can relax on your next road trip. Perfect for that safety and reliability theme.
It's all about connecting the dots, right? Making it a cohesive experience and keeping our dealership top of mind.
Exactly. And remember, data is your friend. See what kind of repurposed content is getting the most clicks, the most engagement, and the most leads. Then do more of that.
Makes sense. But let's get even more specific. One of the best things about the 30 Days to Sell Cars program is using those customer testimonials. How can we amplify those through content multiplication?
Testimonials are gold, and content multiplication lets you make them into a marketing symphony. Let's say you have a video of a customer raving about their experience financing a car at your dealership. You could use something like InShot to cut that video into smaller clips, highlighting different benefits of financing through you.
We could then put those on TikTok or Instagram Reels with captions like, "Financing your dream car doesn't have to be stressful."
Watch how dealership name made it easy.
Exactly. And you could even use those clips to make a longer video with lots of different customer experiences to share on YouTube or Facebook. It's all about getting creative with how you package the content you already have.
I love this. It feels like we're taking content marketing to a whole new level. But I know some dealerships might be hesitant to do all this. They might think it's too much or not worth it. What would you say to those dealerships?
I'd say they're missing out. Content multiplication isn't about making more work for yourself. It's about making the work you're already doing go further.
Working smarter, not harder. Exactly. And you can start small. Pick one piece of content, repurpose it for one other platform, and see what happens.
Baby steps. No need to jump in all at once.
Exactly. Just try things out, see what works, and slowly make content multiplication part of your marketing.
This has been a really eye-opening conversation about content multiplication. I think we've given our listeners some solid strategies they can start using right away. Any final thoughts before we wrap things up?
Just this. The best dealerships are the ones who are always trying new things and finding new ways to connect with customers. Content multiplication is a powerful tool to help you do that.
This has been a fantastic look into content multiplication. Thank you for sharing your knowledge with us.
My pleasure. I hope everyone feels ready to take their marketing to the next level.
And to our listeners, we encourage you to try out these tools, experiment, and most importantly, have fun. Until next time, happy repurposing.